Hi everyone, Cheryl here. Okay, as promised, this is the first video, and it might be a short one. I don't know how much time I actually have to work on this today, but I wanted to at least get started. I'm going to be doing a process video on my mini album for a wedding. So it's going to be a wedding book. And anyway, what can I tell you? First off, the book will measure 9 long by 6 wide. Now, I use quite a heavyweight chipboard. So this is how I get my chipboard. And you can see it's pretty thick. I just like my covers to be really, really sturdy. But, do whatever you feel comfortable doing. Now, if you use this kind of chipboard, you need to use a rotary cutter. So hopefully you have one. If not, you might end up having to use a ruler and an X-Acto knife because a regular cutter won't cut through this chipboard. So my measurements are going to be, your front cover is going to measure 9 by 6, and I'm doing a 3-inch wide spine just because I want it, to have lots in it, so I'm giving extra room. A lot of people like a 2-inch spine or 2.5. So I'm going with the 3. And you only need one of those and two of the others, obviously. Now your paper, I'm going to hold this up so you can actually read that. So you want 2 at 6.5 by 10 and 1 at 7 by 10. Now this is for the paper. This is going to cover the spine and the front and back. Now it's completely up to you whether you want a different color on the front or the back, and then a different colored spine, or all the same. It's your choice, okay? Now I've chosen to use, I bought this at Michael's the other day, so, because it's a young couple, and I was going to just do all black and white, and then I thought, that's a little bit older in my opinion, so I thought I would sort of, make it a little fun as well, so you can see some of the, the papers that are in the collection. They're kind of fun, right? And it's a mix of colors, so gold, silver, red, black. There'll be probably some gray as well. I am going to incorporate some of these stickers that I picked up, and these are Bow Bunny. Enchanted. It's from the Enchanted collection. I just really liked some of the little sayings on there. And then I'm also using the Glitz pack. Now, this actually goes with this collection. I didn't realize it did that, but it does. And it has all kinds of gorgeous, glitzy patterns of paper. So that's what I've chosen to use. So for my front cover, I'm using this one, which I love this one. It's so shimmery. And it almost feels like a plasticky paper. And then the spine is going to be silver. Now with the spine, I'm going to do something different that I've never done before, but I've seen it done and I really, really liked it. I'm going to punch holes in it, and then I'm going to thread some ribbon through it and make it look like a corset. And I thought that was kind of appropriate for a wedding kind of an album. Anyway, I went ahead and cut these because, like I said, I have to use a rotary cutter, and that's on in another area of my craft room. So that's done. Now, the next thing I do is I buy these sheets of the Sip Wang double-sided tape. I just find it's a heck of a lot easier than using the roll and cover, because you have to cover front and back of your book cover. Yeah. So I go that route. But if all you have is this, it works. I've done it many, many times. The trick to this is don't overlap it if you can possibly help that. So how I work mine is I run a strip along here, and I keep going till I'm pretty close to the edge, and then I run one here, and if I need a skinnier one, then I'll put the skinnier one here rather than on the edge. That's just something I do. The other thing is when you're cutting out your chipboard, okay, so imagine This actually goes all the way. So this is 12 by 12. Cut off your spine first. That way you're going to maximize your chipboard. If you cut your covers first, then you don't have a piece long enough for your spine, which means you have to dip into another piece. So I actually designed my books so that I can make a book out of one sheet of chipboard. Okay? All right. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to start my tape and just go ahead and I'll babble away to myself, and hopefully I'm going to stay on camera so that you can see what I'm doing here. But you'll just see it's just a heck of a lot easier doing it this way. And it's really important, you guys, that you do use a bone folder or something to get the stick to your chipboard piece, okay? And I'm not going to peel anything off yet, and I'm not even going to cover it today for you. That's going to be in another video. I'm just going to get this done. I don't know, can you recycle this? Probably not, because it's got the shiny stuff on there, which is really too bad. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. Now, I don't cheap out on adhesive when it comes to my books. You want this to last. You want this to be something that they can pass down to their kids. And if you cheap out on your tape, it's just going to fall apart. So I'm just going to give it a real good rub. Okay, so that's one. So Sook Wang is the same thing as score tape. Super, super sticky. Very good quality. Double-sided tape. So you can hear I'm really giving it a good rub. And I always clean as I go because I tend to be really, really messy. And I'm very limited in my actual workspace. You're seeing the entire, like, well, maybe you're not seeing the entire thing, but I don't have a, it's not very deep because I've got cupboards on my desk here. I'm actually expecting my girlfriend to show up, but she hasn't, and I was just in a crafty mood, so I just got off work and thought, well, why not? Let's get started on this video I promised everybody. Okay, I'm doing the spine now. Now this might not quite be wide enough. It's got just a hair. I'm not sure I'm gonna worry about that. Probably not. Okay, let's do it this way so I got a little bit even. There we go. That will work. Okay, so my final prep step is cutting up my paper for the actual book cover. Now I know this is upside down for you guys, but I'm sorry, I can't cut upside down. You'll just have to use your imagination. Okay, so when you're doing a mini album, now I'm giving you, what did I do with that paper, you guys? Oh, there it is. I told you that you need 2 pieces at 6.5 by 10. Now the book measures 9 inches long, but you need to add an inch to whatever size book you do. If you want a 6-inch book, then make it 7 inches. You need a 1/2 inch border all the way around your book. in order to have enough to fold back, but you don't want too much to fold back, right? Okay, so my book measures 6 inches wide, so I'm doing 6.5 only because, I'll show you. When you lay the book down, it's going to be like this. You're going to leave a 1/8 of an inch gap in between your front and your back covers, and I'll show you how to do that later. But because when you fold your book like this, if you've got them butt right up, you're going to break your paper. It's going to tear. So you need to have a bit of a space between there. Now I think I do. This is 1/4 inch, but I do have 1/8 of an inch. So you're going to run an 1/8 of an inch strip. I'll show you all that later. I'm getting ahead of myself. But anyways, so this is the way it's going to sit. Now, because I'm using a different color of paper for the spine, I can just start my paper that's going to cover my front here at the edge, because the other one's going to overlap it. You can actually even, you know, if you want to save paper, but I mean, it's a 12 by 12, so you might as well cut it in half, right? I mean, that's my thinking. And then I don't have a strip of leftover paper, and you guys all know I have too much leftover paper anyway. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and cut these pieces. So my first thing I'm going to cut, so obviously you're going to need 2 sheets sorry, of paper, because it's a rather large book. So this is the pattern. The pattern's running down. I don't want it to be this way. So first off, I'm going to just go ahead and cut off this edge that is on the book, on the paper, sorry. Get that nice and even, lock that in. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of this. Isn't that pretty though? It's so sparkly. I love the sparkle. Okay, so I want it 6 inches wide. Now, normally I would cut the bottom off first, but again, that's just going to give me a little bit of paper, and really, because I need 10 inches, so well, maybe I will, because 2 inches, I might be able to get something out of that. Oh, I'm always thinking like a Scotsman. Okay, so my book is 9 inches long, which means I want this paper 10 inches long. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that at 10 inches. Lock that in. Yeah, I can get like butterflies or something out of that. Okay, set that aside. And then I want it 6 inches wide. Actually, I only need 1 sheet of paper, don't I? Yeah, cool. So I can get that out of 1 sheet. Awesome, I can use the rest in the book. Okay. Now, so you can see this is going to be sticking out a 1/2 inch on this side. This side doesn't matter because my spine paper is going to overlap this. Okay, does that make sense to you now? All right. So those are my papers for the front of the book. And then I need to do a spine, which means I want the spine to be 7 inches by 10 inches. So we're going to go ahead and cut off the 7 inch first. Is that correct? 7 by 10. Yes, it is. I'm going to second guess myself lots, you guys, because you know what they say, measure twice, cut once. Okay, so that's going to go over there. And then I'm going to cut off my 10 inches. Okay, set that aside. So you see, that's going to wrap my book. Does that make sense to you guys? Okay, so now I think what I want to do, I'm thinking I'm going to use this piece Yeah, I think I might use this piece. What I'm going to do is cover this piece here, like have it covering the book. And then this piece, I think I'm going to punch the holes in and do my lace. So I think what I might do, I wonder how that would work. My brain is like, you know, this is how I process things. What I'm going to try and do is attach two pieces. So this is going to be your cover. This is going to be your cover. Let me move this so I can show you my thought process here. So that'll be my cover piece. That'll be there. This will be here. Then this one will go here. This is just guesstimating here. Okay. Then I think I'm going to take this piece and go over it here. And then this piece I'm going to bend up a little bit. So it's only going to be the same length as the book. I'll either score it and fold it, which that's probably what I'll do. Score it and fold it on both ends so that it's 9 inches long. Punch my holes, which I have one of those. I have one of these great big doodaddies, crocodile thingies. So I can punch, you know, I'll measure my lines, punch my holes, thread the ribbon, and then attach it. But it won't be flat to the book, it'll be bent up. Does that make sense to you guys? So it'll have a bit of a bow in it. Oh, I think that'll look really pretty. What do you guys think? Okay, anyway. Okay, so those are cut for there. Now, the other thing, you can decide, I'm not sure yet whether I want to put this on the inside of the book as well, so that it's completely this. That would look good, hey? I'm thinking that might look nice. So I might go ahead and cut those. Now, when you cut these, for the inside, you don't need to have that extra ½ inch. You just need to cut it the same size as your covers, right? Okay, so you're going to cut your inside pieces to at 6 by 9. Okay, for your inside paper, whatever you choose to use. Okay, I'm going to check my time, see what I'm at here, guys. What am I at? Oh yeah, it's about 18 minutes, so I will go ahead and cut this piece. And I never adhere anything until I'm dead certain that that's what I want to use. I've got the measurements correct. Let's measure this and see how wide that is. It's about 5 inches wide. And I think that's about right. I think that'll look awesome. Okay, let's lock that in. So we'll get rid of that part. Now, this is the part that I'm going to roll under with the rest, so we need it to be 10 inches long. Okay, so these are 2 of my spine pieces. So you can see the difference in the size, but remember, this is going to bow up a little bit, and I still want it to cover. Oh, that's going to look so cool. Oh yeah. Now this one, I'm going to leave it that length. Okay. Now my inside, I've decided, yes, I am going to use the same sparkly paper, so it's very cohesive. But I only need to have it 9 inches long. I'm going to go ahead and cut that 9 inches. Do I want it 9 or do I want it slightly shorter than that? I think I'm going to go at 8 and 7/8. Is that correct? Yeah. Yeah, approximately. And then it'll just be a tiny bit of a border. If that makes sense to you guys. I think I need to have some lunch. I'm feeling slightly lightheaded. Okay, that's cut. And then I want them slightly smaller than the 6. So 5 and 7/8. One, and then 5 and 7/8. So again, make sure you pay attention to the direction of your pattern. Okay, throw that. There we go. So that's all your papers cut to do your cover. So the next video that I post will I will show you how I attach my papers and what prep work I do for that. And then we'll get into the fun stuff. I will pre-make my hidden hinge system just because, like I said before, there's lots of videos on how to create your hidden hinge. And all you really need to know is whether you're going to have a 1/4 inch gusset or a 1/2 inch. I always go with a 1/2 inch just so I have lots of room to play in my book. So that's that'll be pre-done when I come back. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.